This is Abe Friedhanser from Awards Watch, and I'm thrilled to be speaking with Lasse Noer and Kim Magnusson about Night of Fortune. How are you both doing today?
Great,
Great.
thank you. Great.
Wonderful. Lasse, can you tell me a little about the inspiration behind this film?
Yeah, for sure. It's actually a very personal story to me. I was grappling with the weight of personal losses at the time, and I kind of wanted to break the taboo around grief and emphasize the importance of acknowledging and processing loss. Because grief wears many faces and affects each of us individually. And that's why it was very important for me to create a film that encompasses the darkness of grief, but also the warmth, the love, and the laughter as well. Um, so I think this was my way of sort of normalizing and contributing to normalizing grief, and remind us of the importance of being there for each other in the dark times.
And Kim, I know you've produced a number of Oscar-nominated and shortlisted shorts in the past. What spoke to you about this one?
Again, like Lasse said, for me, when I read it, it just felt, very heartfelt. And I love doing films where that speaks to your heart and, get you crying in a way. Crying per se can be both physically crying, but can also be, internally that you kind of get some emotional, uh, going, and you just get that, into your system, and then you let it out. And I think it was very important also for me, like Lasse is saying, the whole thing about having a comedic touch to it is always very, when it comes to short film, is very helpful in a way to tell, your what you're trying to tell in a shorter amount of time. That the comedic and absurdity sometimes just helps you, because things which is dark, and if you can laugh a little about it, it just loosens up people to really get going on, start a conversation. And I think also this film is, like some of the others we've been doing, and we want to start a conversation about, one of the things I also know Lasse probably would say, now I took those words out of him, but like, it is to start a conversation in a great way, where you can, when you can, do things. So that was what talked to me when Lasse and my fellow producer Christian came and pitched the idea to us.
That's great. And did you film in a functioning mortuary?
No, actually, it was. We were looking at those at first, but it was hard to film there because they're working there all the time, right? So we actually found an abandoned hospital, which we painted and did some building things to make it the way me and the cinematographer Lasse wanted. So yeah, so we painted. We wanted to have this cold green vibe to it, right? So and it had to feel claustrophobic in some way. So we found this abandoned hospital, and we could work with that. So that was nice.
And as you mentioned, there's definitely a lot of laughter. Was it hard to get through shooting because there's just so much deadpan in the scenes that I'm sure people couldn't get through everything?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it was actually a bit hard for me because I laughed a little bit behind the camera sometimes, but I had to try to keep it cool, right? Because it was still serious, but at some points it was pretty hard, yeah. And actually, when we were editing it, it would have been so easy to just make it more fun, right? But we had to sort of find this balance so it didn't become too much. Yeah.
Have either of you received any surprising reactions from people who have seen the film?
Yeah, I think people have been so happy for the film because I had a guy when we were at the Clermont-Ferrand. There was this young guy. He came up to me afterwards and said, "Thank you. I didn't know I could laugh and cry at the same time, and now I'm gonna go call my grandma." And that's just perfect. That's because that's what I wanted for the film. That sort of reach out to your relatives and see if they're okay. And I'm guessing she had just lost her husband. So um, yeah, that was a lovely reaction.
It's really nice. Kim, what about you?
No, but I think the same thing. I mean, yes, we've had some, of course, uh, you know, people wishing us luck and all that, and really liking the film. And also in Bend, Oregon, people, it really took film people by storm up there, and won the audience award. And so I really do think that for me, it is a film that really speaks warmly, and I really think that it opens up things. And we have seen people react, just like Lasse said. Other people's also come up and they say, oh, now I can begin to talk about it. And also coming back, like you said earlier, Abe, some of the other films we've been doing in the during the many years of the Oscar shortlisted or nominated, like on my mind that we had 2 years ago, where it was also about grief and sorrow and getting letting loose and all that, and it was also with a humor to it, and like at that time and also now, people are coming up and saying, "Oh, it's so revealing." I mean, relieving that you can actually just laugh and just feel okay about this. Is sometimes people feel like death and sorrow and all that has to be, you know, bad minded, but it's not. This is a way of life, and you have to celebrate life. And I think what Les have been doing on this film is really celebrating that part of departure from these grounds to somewhere else up there, or whatever is on the other side, whatever people do believe in. That's also why we don't take a stand on that. This is for everybody. Whatever you feel, wherever you leave, when you leave from here, wherever you go, that's kind of what this is about, to get closure on that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both for this film and this conversation, and I wish you plenty of luck at the Oscars.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.